this interview, we hear from Reverend Pat, who describes her experience of being excluded as being like a slap in the face. And I'm afraid it's something I have definitely done, and perhaps some of you vicars or leaders out there have done the same. Keep watching to the end because she gives us some really good tips on how we can avoid doing it again. So hearing loss and hearing impairment is more common than we realise.
I did a survey with the congregation to find out. Our congregation have 40% of members with some form of hearing impairment.
40%? Wow. Why does that matter to you?
Well, I am a priest with hearing impairment, and I've been through various challenges because of that. So I see how difficult it can be. Just after I'd begun my training, it was discovered that actually I'd lost low pitch in both ears.
So what did that mean day to day for you?
In my training it was very challenging because approximately 40 students in a room, I couldn't hear the person next to me because there was so much background noise. It was very difficult, very frustrating. There were times when I was at meetings asking people to use the microphone so that I could use the hearing loop, and they wouldn't. They wouldn't do that for me. That is just like a smack in the face. That's like saying to someone, you're not important enough.
There is, for some reason, a real squeamishness about using microphones. I commonly hear, I don't need one, I've got a big enough voice.
I know of people who have been involved in specific meetings in church because they can't hear properly and everyone talks at once. People who are at the receiving end of that give up because it takes so much effort to filter out the noise. They're exhausted by the end of it. We want people to have a fulfilling part in church, to be able to do what others do, not to be sitting on the shelf, if you like.
No.
I hid it.
Why?
Because I was embarrassed. I could get what I thought was said totally wrong.
So rather than get things wrong and risk, you then just choose to
switch off.
Up to half our congregation is going to switch off. What can we do? Because it affects every single vicar, every single church.
Personally, I would like to see some training for clergy.
Well, as luck would have it, I've met this really incredible priest who has been willing to explore doing some training. Would you direct message this page and we will make a mailing list. So if you would give us an email address, we're going to follow up with a little bit of training. What can we do this Sunday?
One of the simplest things you can do is when you're talking to someone, look at them. Because if you turn your head away, if it were me, I wouldn't be able to hear you because your voice is then going in another direction. It's simple. Face the people that you're talking to.
So in a big church, when you're preaching, I had a big telling off from a parishioner one time, and she said to me, it's really annoying because you're doing a great job of making eye contact, but your radio mic doesn't move, does it?
No.
So will you stop being so vain and put on that Madonna Vogue one that we have?
Yes.
I'll be honest, in my new church we haven't got them, and I will be embarrassed to ask for them, but you've reminded me of why I need to. So
if you want to test a hearing loop, then you get someone who's got hearing impairment to do it with you.
What you mean, we don't need a really expensive bit of kit for a meeting? Pat and I have discussed that we're going to put some easy access information on the website, so follow the link in the comments.
You can't see it, but it's there. And we want people who are going to church to enjoy that experience and feel that they are really part of that church community. And if they can't hear, then they can't be.